Hey everyone, today's lesson is on multiplying polynomials. I'm going to be working on these problems on the chapter 13 skills practice. So if you'd like to follow along, go ahead and follow along. I'm going to be doing the odd problems, the even problems you have for homework. I'm starting on page 922. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you how to multiply polynomials using two different methods. So let's kind of see what they did for number 7. So for number 7, you have two polynomials that you're multiplying. They're actually two binomials. And if you look at each one, so like the first one is 3x plus 4. So what they did was they put 3x and 4, both terms, on a vertical column, and then they put 2x plus 2, again, two terms on a horizontal row. And what they did was they multiplied. So they multiplied 3 times 2 and got 6. They multiplied x times x and got x squared. Okay. Then in the next box, they multiplied the next two terms. So they multiplied 2 times 3 and got 6. The x is just carried along. And then they did the same thing at the bottom. So to get 8x, they multiplied 4 times 2. And then the last one, 8, they multiplied 4 times 2. Okay. And then what they did was they combined like terms. Here, 6x squared. Well, actually, I'm sorry. They rewrote everything. Everything in here, they rewrote it in order from largest degree to smallest. And then they combined like terms. They were able to combine these two. Okay, so the answer is this here. All right, let's try number 9. Okay, so I'm going to start off by using the box method. Okay, so again, for the box method, you want to start off by putting your first polynomial. I'm going to put 6t. You could put plus 5, or you could just put 5. I'm actually just going to put 5. Okay, but some people put the plus. All right, and then on the top, I'm going to put the next term, which is 7t. And then in the next one, I'm going to put minus 5. All right. Here you typically put the operation. I'm going to put a multiplication sign. If you're adding them, you can add. You can also add them this way, but I've seen people typically use the table for multiplying. Anyway, so what we're going to do is multiply now. Okay. So for the first one, 7 times 6 is 42. T times t is t squared. Okay. For the next box on the right, I'm going to multiply 6t times negative 5. So 6 times negative 5 is negative 30. And there's no t here, so you're just going to bring the t over from the 6t. Okay. Down at the bottom, you're going to multiply the 7t times 5. 7 times 5 is 35. Bring down your t. And then for the last one, you're going to multiply 5 with negative 5. That's negative 25. There's no t. None of those terms have a t. Okay, so what you do next is rewrite it out. So 42t squared. I'm starting with this term because that's the largest power. And then these are both t terms. So I'm going to write them down. The order does not matter. I'm going to do plus 35t because it's positive, and then minus 30t, and then just rewrite the last term down. So minus 25. Okay, from here you can go ahead and combine like terms. The yellow terms can be combined, the other ones cannot. Okay, they're not like terms. So I'm going to get 42t squared. In the middle, 35t minus 30t is going to give me positive 5t minus 25. And that's my answer. I can't combine anything, and it's in standard form. Okay, let me try number 11. I'm going to do that one using another method. So this time it wants us to multiply these two terms. So what you could do is put them in parentheses. So 10w minus 1 times 9w plus 8. Okay, so each one of these is a term. You could just throw them in parentheses. And then what you could do is you could use the distributive property. Another name for it is FOIL. Okay, so I'll talk about FOIL right now and I'll explain what that means. So the F in FOIL stands for first, O stands for outer, I stands for inner and L stands for last, okay? So what you want to do is multiply the first terms together, okay? So the F in FOIL is the first terms. So 10W times 9W is going to be 90W squared. Okay, next is the green. So green is the outer. So those are the terms that are on the outside of your parentheses. So I'm going to multiply 10W times 8, which is 80W. So that's these terms. So it's going to be plus 80W. Next is yellow in FOIL, and that's I. So that's your inner terms. Those are the terms on the inside. So negative 1 times positive 9W is negative 9W. And then red is the last terms of each parentheses. So here's the last term, Here's the last term, and then here's the last term. So if you multiply the last terms, negative 1 times positive 8 is negative 8, okay? This is nice because most of the time it's already in standard form. You just need to combine. The terms, let me change this color. The terms that could be combined are the ones in the middle. They both have a W. So my answer is 90W squared, and then 80W minus 9 is going to give you 71W minus 8. It's already in standard form. I have the largest exponent first, and then my last term is a constant. The middle one has an exponent of 1. So this is my answer. Okay. And then for these, you could choose either the box method or you can choose to FOIL. All right, let me do another one with you guys. So number 13 is done for you already. You can also use the distributive property. So I'm just going to kind of ignore what the book did and show you what that looks like. So for the distributive property, it's essentially foiling, but kind of think of math 1 when you guys saw something outside of parentheses, touching the parentheses, and you're going to multiply that to the inside. So 20x times x, I'm sorry, not 20, 2x times x is going to be 2x squared. Then 2x times 6 is going to be positive 12x. You cannot combine these. One has an x squared, the other one has a regular x, so that's your answer. Okay. Number 15. So for this one, you can go ahead and distribute. So I'm going to distribute this 7x. Okay. So 7x times x is going to be 7x squared, because I have 2 of them. And then for the next one, it's 7x times negative 5. That's going to be negative 35x. I can't combine, so this is my answer. Okay. Here's another one, number 17. Again, you could use the box method or you could use the FOIL method. I'm going to show you how to distribute again using 2 binomials. All right, so for this one, if you want to distribute, it's the same thing as foiling. Take the first term and you're going to multiply it to the first term in the second parentheses and to the second term. Okay, so x times x squared, multiply them, it gives you x cubed. When you multiply variables, you add your exponents. And then the other one is x times negative 1. That's going to be negative x. Okay, then you take your second term and then you do the same thing. You multiply it to the second parentheses. So 3 times x squared is going to be positive 3x squared, since they're both positive. Then 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. Okay, now this is not in standard form. I have an x cubed, then a regular x to the first, then 3x squared, then a constant. I actually can't combine anything, but I can rewrite it in standard form. So I'm going to rewrite this as x cubed, that's my highest power. Second highest is x squared, so it's going to be this term here. So I'm going to put plus 3x squared. Then I'm going to put minus x, and then your constant goes at the end. This is my answer for this one here. Okay. Number 19, you can also have a monomial multiplied by a trinomial. So sometimes you'll have one number multiplying to 3 terms. You'll just have to distribute 3 times. So this 3x is going to get multiplied 1, 2, 3 times. Okay. So 3x times x squared is going to be 3x cubed. 3x times 5x is going to be 15x squared, okay, because I have 2 x's. And then 3x times negative 1 is going to be negative 3x. I cannot combine anything. It's already in standard form, so this is my answer. Okay, let's try a couple more. Number 21. I'm going to show you how to do this with the distributive property. FOIL works best when you have two terms and then you have another two terms. Here we have two terms and then we have a trinomial, so three terms. All right, so let me go ahead and show you how to distribute for this one. Okay, first term is x. It's going to get multiplied 1, 2, 3 times. Second term is 2. It's going to get multiplied 1, 2, 3 times. So we're going to have a total of 6 things when we multiply and then we combine. Okay, so let's start off with the blue. X times x squared is going to be x cubed. I have 3 x's. X times 6x is going to be 6x squared. And then x times negative 1 is going to be negative x. Okay. Then I'm going to do the red. So in red, I have 2 times x squared. That's going to be 2x squared. 2 times 6x is going to be 12x. And then 2 times negative 1 is going to be negative 2. Okay, there's a few things I can combine here. So this is my only x cubed. So I'm just going to rewrite that over. But I have 2 x squared terms. And then I have 2 terms with an x, and then this negative 2 I'm also just going to bring down and rewrite. Okay, so I'm going to start with green. 6x squared plus 2x squared is going to be 8x squared. Then the yellow is going to give me 11x. Okay, you could think of this as negative 1x since there's no number there. And then bring down your minus 2. It's in standard form, so I'm going to box that and call that my answer. Okay, one more example for you guys, number 22. Again, I'm going to go ahead and multiply. By the way, you can also use a box method. Let me show you what a box method looks like for this. So remember, I have 2 terms, so you're going to write those, okay, vertically. Then you're going to take 1, 2, 3 terms and write them down. So this is essentially the same thing, only now you have 3 columns going down, okay? And then my operation is multiplication, okay? So again, you kind of line everything up. You kind of line everything up. So x squared times x is going to give me x cubed, okay? Then you move on to the next one. So the next one's going to be, let me pick a different color. It's going to be 2x, whoa, wrong tool, sorry. 2x times x, that's going to give me 2x squared, and you just keep going. So the next one is going to be negative 3 times x, that's negative 3x, okay? Next one is x squared times negative 4 is going to be negative 4x squared. 2x times negative 4 is going to be negative 8x. And the last one is negative 4 times negative 3 is positive 12, okay? Remember, anything in this area is going to be part of your answer. Write them all down, okay? So I have x cubed, and it helps if you write it down in descending order. Negative 4x squared, 2x squared, negative 8x, negative 3x, and positive 12, okay? From here, combine your like terms. So this is the only x cubed. I have 2x squares. I have 2 x's, and then I only have 112. So just bring everything down. So the first thing is going to be x cubed. Combine your green terms. This is going to give me negative 2x squared. Combine your yellow. Negative 8 minus 3 is going to give me negative 11x. And then bring down your positive 12. It's in descending order, which I know is standard form. So this is my answer. Okay. So again, on your homework, remember you can use, I said 2 methods, but technically 3 you can use to distribute. Actually, that's not distributing. This one's distributing. So you could distribute. You could use the box method. This helps if you're a visual person. And then you can also choose to FOIL. Okay. FOIL is technically distributing. You're doing the same thing. It's just a way for you to remember first, outer, inner, last. But that's it. That's multiplying polynomials. Make sure you send me an email or in the document that I have, ask me any questions if you have any. Remember, your homework is due on Sunday at midnight. It's off of the skills practice. You're doing all the evens. All right, have a good day.